Chemistry Textbook 4.3, title Sedimentary Rocks. Sedimentary rocks are one of the three types of rocks that we mentioned. Sedimentary rocks are formed over millions of years. That means to make one sedimentary rock, you need to wait for millions of years for one to be made. How long is that? Sedimentary rocks are rarely seen and rarely used because it is very hard to make. Let's talk about some properties of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are porous, which means that water can soak in it. And how do you know that it is porous? You can do an experiment by pouring water on the rock. If the rock soaks the water in, it means it is a porous. But if the rock does not soak the water in, it will be called non-porous, which means it does not soak water in. There are a lot of different types of sedimentary rocks like limestone, sandstone, claystone, and mudstone, and many more. But today we'll be typically talking about these four types of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are usually less hard than igneous rocks. That means it is easier to scratch sedimentary rocks than igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are harder than sedimentary rocks, so it will be very harder to scratch it. Sedimentary rocks are way easier to scratch than igneous rocks. Now let's talk about the four different types of sedimentary rocks. Although we're only talking about four, there are still other types of sedimentary rocks that we cannot mention because there's too much talk. So we will just talk about the four main ones that we usually see, that we humans usually use in some things. First, let's talk about sandstone. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock that is good for building because it is hard enough. And it is made of mineral quartz. Other minerals cement the grains together. And how about the claystone and mudstone? Claystone and mudstone is good to make something. They are much more softer, so they can be easily squashed, and they are made into pottery or other things that you need to model out. Pottery is like those vases or pots that you use out of clay. You use clay to make the model of it, and then you just need to make it hard by ovening or doing some other stuff to make it hard, and it will become a pot or a vase. This is how some pots and pottery are made. So mudstone and claystone can be made into pottery. Lastly, let's talk about limestone. Limestone is a very useful building material. It was made from the remains of living things. Billions of dead shellfish was piled up on the seabed, and their shells broke into skeletons and small pieces. Over 1 million of years, these sediments stuck together to form a limestone. The process is still happening in the sea around the islands of Bahamas. That's why sedimentary rocks need 1 million of years to make. See, you need to wait for 1 million of years to just form a sedimentary rock. And there are also stages to form a sedimentary rock. The stages are from weathering to transportation, and from transportation to deposition, and from deposition to compaction or cementation. next time we will talk about how are sedimentary rocks made in details. Thank you for watching today.